What is up, guys, and welcome back to my updated 2025 video of my super awesome CD collection. So I think it's been close to a year now. Pretty sure it was January 1st of this year, so 2025, when I first made my first CD collection video on this channel. And you guys really seem to love that video, and you guys have been asking for an updated one. So here it freaking is. If you're new here, I mainly collect and listen to hip hop and electronic dance music. But I do honestly have a whole bunch of different stuff here. This is my most diverse physical media collection out of everything I collect, to be honest. Whole bunch of different genres, but still primarily sort of, electronic and rap. So I guess if you really do hate those two genres, maybe this video isn't for you. But still, for those of you who do listen to those two genres, you guys are going to find out about some super awesome hidden gems and amazing albums you've never even heard of that I do want you to check out. So let's get into this thing. We're going to do a completely random order, just like last time. That seemed to keep things pretty interesting. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Alright, and first CD to kick off today's collection, we have Daft Punk Homework. So it goes without saying, I have to say this every time I bring them up. Daft Punk is my favorite artist of all time, and they have a perfect discography, and obviously grew up with them. This is an amazing album. Homework is fantastic. Any electronic music lover will absolutely adore that album. So yeah, Daft Punk, there you go. We're starting off with my favorite artist of all time and one of my favorite albums ever, to be honest. So yeah. Next up, we have Jack Harlow, Come Home, The Kids Miss You. Kind of just got this randomly. Probably the only Jack Harlow project I actually listened to. Next up, we've got Eminem, Encore. A very, sort of mixed feelings album people have towards this thing, but I personally do like Encore. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It is still really good. Next up, we've got Kanye West, Graduation. Obviously, I can't really name one person who's heard this thing and didn't like it, so yeah, it's just a universally loved album. Graduation, obviously, I do think that there's better Kanye West albums for sure, but still, I appreciate Graduation for the 9 out of 10 album it is. Alright, next up, we've got David Guetta, One Love. Nice EDM album, pretty cool. Again, I think there's better David Guetta albums, but still, pretty cool. Next up, we've got The Life of Pablo, Kanye West. And I should know that these, well, not both of them, that's the EU release, but this is a custom CD. Obviously, this album never came out on any physical forms of media. Absolutely amazing Kanye West album. Super good. To be honest, it took a while for this one to grow on me, but now I do really see it for what it is and, love that album. So, yeah, phenomenal album. Next up, we've got Jay-Z, The Blueprint. Really cool. Again, one of my favorite hip-hop albums ever made. Just perfection. Really good. So, yeah. Next up, we've got Eminem, Relapse, Refill. So this is the deluxe, obviously with the extra tracks. Relapse is in my top 10 albums of all time, and obviously just top 10 hip-hop albums of all time. It is just a great album, super slept on, but I feel like in recent years it's been getting a lot more love, so yeah. Next up, we've got Example, Playing in the Shadows. So, yeah, I mean, again, if you haven't heard this and you're like electronic music fan, I think that's a pretty good one, and sort of also underrated one to listen to, so go ahead and listen to that. Next up, we've got Lady Gaga, The Fame. Lady Gaga is one of my favorite female artists of all time. She's probably in my top 3. And I do love that album quite a lot. Next up, more Kanye West. We've got Kanye West Yeezus over here. This is one of those CDs that I always have on display, just because, obviously it looks really cool. Next up, we've got Logic, Vinyl Days. Probably the main Logic album I listen to when I listen to Logic. This is just one of the best albums in the past decade for hip-hop, in my opinion. It's just so well made. Yeah, what can I say? This has got to be my favorite Logic album, which some people might call me crazy for, but it just is mine personally. Just because I love the old school production and, yeah, just the whole vibe of the album is just nuts to me. So, moving on, we've actually got probably my second favorite album of all time, which is Hell Hath No Fury by Clips. So, absolutely classic. What can I say? This is my favorite Clips album. And yeah, this is probably, I want to say, either my second or third favorite album of all time. I could probably confidently say this is my second favorite album just ever. Absolutely phenomenal. What can I say? Phenomenal. The lyricism, they do not waste one bar on this thing. The production, man, it's just absolutely crazy. Love that album so much. It is so dear to my heart. You don't understand. All right, next up, we've got Donda over here. Obviously, it's just completely black, but you can see there, Def Jam, good music. Yeah, Donda, very long album, but to be honest, I do think people are a little bit too critical on it. I think Donda's really good, to be honest. I'd say it's like a 8.5 out of 10. I do love pretty much all of the tracks on this, but it is bloated, it is long, I do acknowledge that. Next up, we've got Daft Punk Alive 1997. Obviously not as good as their later release, Alive 2007, but still really good, and it's a good refresher to listen to once you sort of get sick of listening to all the other Daft Punk. It is still really good. Next up, we've got Timbaland Shock Value. This is a very slept-on album. I do wish more people would give this thing its flowers and the appreciation it deserves, but yeah, maybe some people will listen to it just because of this video. Next up, we've got the mini album by Soulja Boy, I Soulja Boy Tell 'Em. This is probably the most, like, 2007 thing you will ever see in your life. But, yeah, it's still, I mean, it was like $2, and I was like, well, do I want to save $2 or do I want to get Soulja Boy? I was like, all right, just screw it. I'll get the Soulja Boy. It's only $2, and, I mean, look at the tracks on here. It's not that bad. The tracks on here are pretty good, and some of the better, Soulja Boy tracks he's ever made. Good party songs. Yeah. Next up, we've got Justin Bieber, My World's Australian edition. This is definitely one of my guilty pleasures, I guess you could say. I mean, I really don't like Justin Bieber, anything he's made sort of post-2012. But for some reason, his 2007 to 2012 run was just so good and just has such a nostalgic vibe to it. I mean, I still probably don't listen to this thing often, but whenever I sort of do, it's like, a nice throwback to the 2010s, which obviously was such a great time. And then you also have My World 2.0 over here, but I do prefer listening to this one because it has like, I'll just stack them on top, I guess, because it has like more of the tracks that I like. Next up, we've got A Tribe Called Quest, People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm. I love this album to death. Can never decide whether I like this one more or the Low End Theory more, but I think I'm gonna have to go the Low End Theory. But it's also worth mentioning that, like Daft Punk, I consider A Tribe Called Quest to have a completely perfect discography with no bad albums or songs. Daft Punk and A Tribe Called Quest are the only two artists I consider to just have perfect discographies with absolutely just flawless, across the board. So yeah, that album definitely means a lot to me. Next up, we've got Kanye West Late Registration. You can fight me on this one, but the Late Registration album is better than the College Dropout. Some people will definitely disagree, but in my opinion, this is definitely better than the College Dropout, and I find myself listening to it a lot more than the College Dropout, so that's just me though. Alright, next up we've got Clips Till the Casket Drops. Probably their weakest album out of everything they made, but still, overall, worth listening to, a good listen. So, yeah, how about we get some lighting going on over here? It is getting slightly dark. Okay, that's much better. Alright, moving on. We have Dr. Dre, The Chronic. One of my favorite albums ever made. Again, there's just so many albums that I love, but this is just, one of those that come to mind. Dr. Dre, just, the GOAT producer, my personal favorite producer of all time. Timbaland is quite close. Kanye West is quite close. Q-Tip from Tribe is close. Pharrell is close, but Dr. Dre still is always my number one favorite producer of all time. So, yeah. We've got Pusha T Daytona over here. This is already a classic, even though it feels like it came out recently, but it was actually 2018 this thing came out. Like 7 years ago it's already been, so yeah. Flawless album. Pusha T's, would I say it's his best solo album? Yeah, for sure. I would say that. Next up, guys, we actually have my favorite album of all time from just any genre ever, and that is Dr. Dre 2001, aka Dr. Dre The Chronic 2. This is actually the Japan release, as you can see. I do have the original version as well, which is a common trend you'll see for all these albums. Sometimes I have the deluxe, the regular, remixes, EP versions and Japan releases, but like, yeah, you'll see a whole bunch of that. But anyway, this is, in my opinion, the greatest hip-hop album ever made. This is the most just well-produced album ever. I think it's got the greatest collection of instrumentals of just any album ever, and it's also the best mixed and mastered and just engineered album ever. So it's a lot of things, but all in all, this is, in my opinion, the greatest album just ever made, and especially in hip-hop. So, yeah, Dr. Dre 2001, that is forever my GOAT album, my favorite listen, and just front to back, perfection, flawless, and it's just a classic. You can really tell how much of a perfectionist Dr. Dre is with this album, because it is freaking perfect. And if you have not heard this thing, oh my god, please go listen to it. It is literally my favorite album of all time, and look how much music I listen to. This isn't even like a fifth of the amount of CDs we're gonna get through. So, yes. All right, moving on. We've got Eminem Relapse, the Japan release. So this is the standard, I guess, version of this. But obviously the main difference, for those who don't know, with Japan releases is that the mixing and mastering quality is higher over in Japan. So the music sounds better, and therefore the CD quality is also better. So we've also got the Japan version of Graduation, which is very sought after because it does contain bittersweet poetry, which is really cool. Another Japan disc over here, we've got A Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory. And these are not sealed, guys. This is like resealable plastic. So I have opened these and listened to them, but I just like to keep the obi strips, like this part here, intact by having these. So it is kind of a cool way to have the, still have the display factor with the obis and everything, and also still be able to enjoy them and listen to them. So that's your explanation for that. All right, next up, we've got Calvin Harris, Ready for the Weekend. I kind of just bought this one randomly. To be honest, I only bought it really for a couple of tracks. The whole thing itself, I wouldn't even rate too highly. So just one of those CDs that sort of ended up in my collection for whatever reason. So, yep. Next up, we have an absolute classic over here. This is In My Mind by Pharrell. Phenomenal. We're gonna have to figure out a way how to like sort of do this thing. But yeah, phenomenal album right there. My favorite track probably has to be Young Girl, featuring Jay-Z / I Really Like You. But to be honest, the way that song's aged, maybe it might be a bit sus that that's my favorite song now. But yeah, go back and listen to it after all of the stuff going on right now. It's kind of like, whoa. But yeah, we have another version of Jay-Z, The Blueprint. It's actually the exact same track list and everything, but it's just the blue cover my friend got me for my birthday, but didn't realize I already have it. So I mean, at least it's a variant, so it's kind of different. Next up, we have AC/DC Back in Black. Yeah, really cool. AC/DC is probably my favorite, like, sort of alternative or, rock sort of band. I mean, apart from Rage Against the Machine, I guess, but yeah, I do like AC/DC, so got that. We've got Daft Punk Music, their, like, greatest hits collection from 2005. This is just a great listen. I always say, like, if there's any, like, CD you want to get whenever someone's at, like, a CD store, I always recommend this one. And whenever they ask me, like, oh, what's a good, CD I can get for a party? I'm always like, this one's, one of the better ones, I guess, unless you get, like, a compilation sort of CD. I think this is a pretty good one, because Daft Punk is, obviously great for party music, so, yep. We've got Snoop Dogg, Rhythm and Gangsta. Honestly, this album, I kind of just got it. I don't know why. There are some songs that I like on this, like Step Your Game Up is pretty good, and obviously Drop It Like It's Hot is the best song on this album. But again, it just kind of like ended up in my collection. I just kind of have it now. Next up, we have LMFAO Party Rock. I'm gonna be honest, this album, I really do love it. I don't like their second album, Sorry for Party Rocking, as much. But this has, like, I'm in Miami, bitch. This has, like, Yes. What else? This has Get Crazy. This has I Am Not a Whore. Like, this is just like a great party album. It's party rock, man. It's Red Food, Sky Blue. And yeah, I just love this album. It's so dear to my heart. Next up, we've got Black Eyed Peas, The End. Some people really don't like this album, like really don't like it. I don't know why, but look at that first 5-track run there. To be honest, that first like freaking 10-track run for me, I mean, people just stop listening after I Got a Feeling. Like, tracks 6 to 16, guys, are just, they're good. They're worth listening to. I think it's still a really great album. I don't know why people don't like it. People say it's aged poorly. Just shut up. I mean, I know Black Eyed Peas like the definition of a product of its time, but still, it's good. Come on, you can't tell me you're listening to this thing and not vibing. Alright, next up, we've got Playboi Carti. This is his self-titled mixtape. This is personally my favorite Playboi Carti release. Dial It definitely does come close, but I don't know, something about this self-titled mixtape is just really good, and it is, to this day, my favorite Playboi Carti release, so, yep. Next up, we have another one of my favorite albums just ever made. This is Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon. Really, really a beautiful album. This is his best album by far. And yeah, just a great listen. Next up, we have 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Tryin'. 50 Cent's best album, for sure. Classic. Love the production on this thing. Eminem actually, produced a surprising amount of tracks on here. But obviously, Dr. Dre was also behind, most of the production, but still so cool. Eminem's production always went really hard. But yeah, not to mention, 50 Cent, in my opinion, had the greatest debut just in hip-hop history. I mean, he just came out the gate hot. Like, yeah, I mean, just one of the greatest debuts ever. And I don't think you can really argue with that. So yeah. Next up, we have A Tribe Called Quest, Beats, Rhymes, and Life. I do love this album a lot. Choosing my favorite Tribe album is always so hard, but I do think it has to be The Low End Theory right there. But this album's also just so freaking good, man. Like, I just love all the Tribe albums. Next up, we have a some sort of Eminem, mixtape CD. It's him here in a freaking guillotine. Who knows what the frick he was doing here, but this is the DJ Green Lantern mixtape CD. Kind of got this randomly. I think it's somewhat rare, but at the same time, when I see it pop up, it's not too expensive. It just doesn't really pop up that often. I guess rare doesn't always equal expensive, so yeah. Alright, next up, we have Eminem Code and Call 2. I'm gonna be honest, I don't listen to this thing at all. Code and Call 1 is where it's at. Whoa, can we get a focus here? But, I mean, I can appreciate the... Alright, we just do not want to focus here, that's fine. But I can appreciate the tracks, obviously on there that I do enjoy listening to, but Code and Call 1 is just a much better listen, so I'm not really sure why he even made that thing. Alright, next up we have, camera is bugging right now. We have Crystal Castles 2, so their second album. It's self-titled, but it's their second self-titled album. This is a phenomenal listen. I mean, what genre would you call this? Freaking witchcraft, I guess you'd call this genre. I guess distorted electronic, experimental electronic, and the camera just does not want to behave right now. Next up, we have Boran and the Club of Gore, Sunset Mission. This is sort of like a jazz album. One of the very few jazz albums that I consistently listen to and genuinely enjoy front to back. I remember someone commented, very interesting that I have this in my collection, like amongst all the other stuff I have. And I'm like, yeah, to be honest, I don't know how that's sort of, how that is just like one of the random albums that I listen to, but yeah. Next up, we've got David Guetta, Nothing But The Beat 2.0. This is one of the oldest CDs in my collection, actually. Super cool, like holographic sort of thing. This is why I love CDs, man. Look at this cover, man. I wish they did more stuff like this, but... yeah, this, in my opinion, isn't even the best version of the album. It's just a cool change, refresher, but the, this one right here, David Guetta, Nothing But The Beat, the 2 CD original, is where it's at. So you got the vocal album. I mean, am I crazy to call this thing a 10 out of 10? Maybe. A lot of people will, again, say that this has aged poorly, but it just, I mean, you go to a party, you hear all of these tracks, man. You go to a party, you hear all of these freaking tracks, so it's like... How is it aged poorly? I don't get when people say that. For Black Eyed Peas, for David Guetta, for LMFAO, oh, it's aged so bad. Like, Yeah, I don't really know. Daft Punk, Human After All. At one point, this was my favorite Daft Punk album, but to be honest, it does probably have to be Discovery or even Alive 2007, but I do love this album regardless. Has some of the creepiest music videos on YouTube, guys. Go check out the Prime Time of Your Life music video. Go check out the Technologic music video. I mean, the Prime Time of Your Life music video just scarred me as a freaking kid, man. I mean, I think they just recently, like, unbanned it on YouTube, so, yeah. GZA, Liquid Swords, Come On Camera. Great hip-hop album. My bad, guys, I'm just sick, and this camera just doesn't want to freaking do anything, but you get the point. This is in my top 10 hip-hop albums ever made. So freaking good, man. Next up, we have Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style. This is probably the only Snoop Dogg album I consider to be like a classic or like just really good and just possibly even 10 out of 10. I probably wouldn't even be crazy to call this a 10 out of 10. And yeah. It's like, if you like Dr. Dre, The Chronic, and, you know, early 2000s and 90s Eminem, you're gonna love that album. So yeah. We've got a sort of better condition version here of Timbaland Shock Value. It is the Japan release again. And I cannot stress enough, this album is slept on. People always absolutely glaze Timbaland as a producer, which, you know, as you should. He is an amazing producer. And they just, you know, never really mention his solo stuff. Like, listen to Shock Value 1 and 2, guys. Great stuff. It is also home to one of my favorite just songs of all time, which is track 7, Kill Yourself. I know, what a crazy song, but that is genuinely one of my favorite hip-hop songs of all time. I think it's like in my top 3. I wouldn't even be crazy to say. It's in my top 3, so yeah. Next up, we have Kanye West, 808s and Heartbreak. This is my second favorite Kanye West album, and it was the album that I grew up with as well. This is the first ever Kanye album I listened to, and you'll never believe about the way that I found out about this thing. It's actually thanks to these guys, because I was always a massive Party Rocker and LMFAO fan as a little kid, and they actually did a remix of Paranoid and Love Lockdown, which is how I found out about who Kanye West was. How crazy is that? I mean, the power of the internet. But yeah, 808s and Heartbreak is freaking amazing. And not to mention, so influential. Okay, we've got Ice Cube, Death Certificate. This is actually probably the most recent CD I've purchased in my collection. It's still sealed, as you can see. I haven't even opened it. I'm saving it for an unboxing video. But hey, this album, it's great. It took me so long to actually listen to it. I always wanted to. It was always on my backlog. I just thought the name and the cover was cool, and I was like, wow. When I heard it, I was like, yeah, this thing is really, you know, it's genuinely good. So yeah. Here we have Young Jeezy, The Recession. Guys, if you haven't heard this thing, if there's one hip-hop album I'm gonna recommend today, apart from Dr. Dre 2001, if you haven't heard it, listen to this. This album is the perfect mixture of hip-hop, party, and just hype. It is genuinely so freaking good, and I don't know how more people don't talk about it in 2025. Amazing. Next up, we've got Pusha T, Fear of God 2, Let Us Pray. A very slept-on album. I love Pusha T, of course. He is in my top 3 rappers of all time, alongside Jay-Z and Eminem. And yeah, I think Bodywork is my favorite track on here. Yeah, great album. Next up, we have one of my absolute favorite albums of all time. We have Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. So this album has got to be my top 3 of all time. Dr. Dre 2001, this, and then another album we'll see later on my top 3. But So Appalled is my favorite hip-hop song of all time. I don't know how that song isn't more popular, why it's underrated, because it is literally a supervillain anthem. So Appalled, guys, is quite literally a supervillain anthem. It is just the craziest hip-hop song ever made. The beat, the delivery, the verses, the way Kanye loses his mind, the way Jay-Z just freaking loses his mind and leaves Earth, the way Pusha T goes nuts, the way Sci-Hi just goes crazy, just everyone, Raekwon, just everyone. I just cannot glaze that song enough. So Appalled, guys, is my favorite hip-hop song of all time. Probably Kill Yourself by Timbaland is my second. But, yeah, I'd say that that's probably my, yeah, in my top 3. I mean, Dr. Dre 2001, Clips Hell Hath No Fury, Kanye West My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. There you go. That's my top 3 hip-hop albums ever. But yeah, there is another album that's not hip-hop. That is in my just overall top 3, which we'll see soon. But Crystal Castle, self-titled. This is their first album. Amazing. Can't even remember how I got introduced to them. I think it was actually my teacher. Can you believe that? My English teacher, that's right. My year 11 English teacher told me to listen to these guys, and I was like, oh my god, this guy knows ball. What the hell am I listening to? So, yeah. Daft Punk, Alive 2007. This is the greatest live album of all time. And just go watch the concerts on YouTube, guys. It is absolutely nuts. They're finally getting some more traction for this album because of, well, not finally. I mean, they've always had traction for Alive 2007, but they're finally getting even more attention from the new gens because they just added Daft Punk in Fortnite. So, wow. Next up, we've got Outkast AT Aliens. Absolute classic. This is in my top 10 hip-hop albums of all time. I've said that a few times, but I don't think I've used it 10 times. Surely not. But yeah, this one, definitely, like, amazing album. Just front to back. 10 out of 10, flawless. Next up, we have Eminem Infinite. This is obviously a bootleg / re-release. House of Wax, still sealed. I don't know why. But yeah, I just usually listen to this album digitally, I suppose, so yeah. Next, we have Busta Rhymes Blockbuster. This is one of the newer Busta Rhymes albums. And look, I don't know why I sort of bought this. It's like, for every song that's really good, there's also one song that's like really mid. I want to say like, look, there's what? 19 tracks on here. I'd say like 9 or 10 of them are just like very mid, and the rest are genuinely good. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? Just kind of ended up here. Next up, we've got The Weeknd, Starboy. This is the only Weeknd album I listen to, and it's his best album. I've heard the other Weeknd albums, but I've never just revisited them the way I have with Starboy, so yes, sir. Next up, we've got Deadmau5, 4 times 4 equals 12. Obviously, 4 times 4 does not equal 12. It was just a joke that he made in one of his streams, or it was like a mistake that became a joke, that became an album. Something like that. But yeah, really great electronic album. We have Brat by Charlie XCX. This album is genuinely amazing. One of my favorite albums of... Was it last year this came out? Was it this year? Why do I not remember? It was last year, right? It had to be last year. Yeah, 2024. One of my favorite 2024 albums, for sure. Yeah, I don't know how so many hip-hop heads ended up loving that album. It's just like a weird trend, so... Yeah. Next up, we've got Aphex Twin, Selected Ambient Works, 85 to 92. I finally got around listening to Aphex Twin, and I absolutely loved it. So good. Next up, we have this like sort of random Eminem promo single, My Name Is. No jewel case or anything, I just put this in a spare jewel case I had, because I just got the CD on its own somehow. Yeah, My Name Is obviously a classic. We have... Clips presents The Re-Up Gang. This is a sort of like enhanced sort of mixtape / album version of their third We Got It For Cheap mixtape volume 3. That's all this is, but yeah, genuinely some amazing songs on here. And just all of these guys, everyone you see in this photo right here. Hold on, let's focus. These are all some of the greatest lyricists and greatest writers in all of hip-hop history. All 4 of these motherfuckers are in my top 10. All 4 of them. It's Pusha T right there. That's his brother Malice. Hold up. That's Ab Liva. That's Sandman. All 4 of these guys are in my top 10 writers in hip-hop. They are all just crazy. And probably top 10 rappers too, I'd say, for Push, Malice, and Ab Liva. So, yeah. Next up, but their pen game is crazy. Next up, we've got 50 Cent The Massacre. One of the more recent CDs I got. I mean... These used to be so freaking expensive, and you can see, look, special edition, double CD set, includes blah, blah, blah. This would be like $30 back in the day. I just got it for $4. So why the heck not? And I listened to it, and it was one of the 50 Cent albums that I hadn't listened to for some reason, and I liked it. It was good. Overall, strong, good album, but not as good as Get Rich or Die Trying. Next up, we've got an R&B one over here, I guess, or pop, whatever you want to call this. Justin Timberlake, Justified. Amazing. Great album. Justin Timberlake, one of the greatest sort of R&B / pop artists for me, so yeah. We have, next up, we've got A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders. A lot of people praise this as their best album. In my opinion, it's got to be The Low End Theory. But again, I wouldn't hate you for saying that's your favorite because I love Tribe so much. Next up, we've got LMFAO, Sorry for Party Rocking. This is a 2-disc set. CD, DVD set, limited tour edition set. I was such a big fan of these guys as a kid, you do not understand. Next up, we have DJ Shadow Introducing. Guys, this is a fantastic album. It's a great instrumental album. Made entirely of samples, believe it or not. Yeah, please listen to it. It's so freaking good when you need something chill. Next up, we have A Tribe Called Quest, We Got It From Here, Thank You For Your Service. Their 2016 album. Rest in peace, Fife. Yeah, great album. But I do prefer their older albums more, to be honest, but still one of the best comeback albums of all time. Next up, we have another freaking version of David Guetta, Nothing But The Beat. This is the 3 CD set. It's freaking purple this time. So they've got the vocal album, the electronic album, and the freaking party mix this time. What the heck is going on? Yeah. Great party CD to have. Next up, we have Calvin Harris, I Created Disco. Again, I don't know why I bought this. Like, Calvin Harris, like when I think of Calvin Harris, I think of the bangers. And I think I just bought the wrong albums with him. That's what I did. There's this album, I don't know what it is. It's like him sitting on a sidewalk. The one that has the song with Neo on it. The album that has that song on it. What was it called? Let's Go with Neo, that one. That's the album I should have bought because I don't listen to these other Calvin Harris albums I bought. And it's kind of like, well, he's a great DJ, but just these albums, they're kind of like very different. Okay, my arm is getting tired. Let's switch hands. We've got Planet Pit over here by Pitbull. Very random album to have. I mean, it's got some of the greatest party tracks ever made on here. Obviously, all of those ones listed right there. But then the rest of it is kind of just like, well, it's okay, I guess, but it just doesn't hit the same spot as those, you know, big hits. Yeah. Next, Daft Punk Discovery. So as I was saying before, there was that one album I was missing. This is, you know, in my top 3 albums of all time. So if I were to give you my sort of top 3, number 1, Dr. Dre 2001. Number 2, Daft Punk Discovery. Number 3 would probably have to be Clip's Hell Hath No Fury. And then number 4, Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. One of my favorite albums of all time, Daft Punk Discovery. Here is just the regular CD of The Low End Theory. We had the enhanced Japan version before, but that's just the standard. Next up, we have the regular version of 808s and Heartbreak, Kanye West. Won't spend too much time on these duplicates, I've already talked about them. Next up, we have one of the wildest album covers ever. Kanye West, Vultures 1. I just had a gift card for a particular store, and that's how this ended up in my collection. And I had nothing else I wanted to spend it on because I already had everything else that they had available. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let's just get Vultures. We have my favorite album of all time again, just the standard version. So freaking good, man. So freaking good. And then next up, we have, I'm just gonna do these together because they're kind of like the same thing. We have a whole bunch of these like compilation like sort of things. Some of them are good, some of them are trash, I'm gonna be honest. But just a whole bunch of EDM compilation things. Like this one's like okay, but which one was it? I think it was the yeah, this one? Yeah, this one's alright. Oh, maybe it's not even part of this pile here, but there was one that was genuinely amazing, like a great mix by Chris Fraser, but some of them are just like, you know, the track selection, I don't know. So yeah. Let's do these together as well. We've got the Victorious soundtrack OST. These were like $3 each, and I did grow up with the show, so I was like, why not? And mostly my sister listens to these, if anything, not me. But yeah, I did grow up with Nickelodeon and Victorious. The music, sure. I don't know why I have it on CD, but I guess it was so cheap I could justify it. Next up, one of the greatest hip-hop albums ever made. We've got Outkast, Aquemini. It took me way too long to realize that it's called Aquemini because 3 Stacks and Big Boy are... One of them's an Aquemini, one of them's an Aquarius, one of them is the Gemini, and they fused it to make Aquemini. How did it take me so long to figure out something so simple? You guys are like rolling your eyes right now. Next up, we've got What Is Fig Kid by Fig Kid. This guy, I don't know where the hell he is today. I'm pretty sure he still makes music, but pretty much he was like the Eminem of Australia, where I live, in like the early 2000s. That's what I heard. But genuinely fell off hard. I mean, he even had a song with Redfoo on here. That's how I found out about him. He had a song with freaking Redfoo. Which one was it? Oh yeah, the 3rd track there. Even Tech-9 produced it. See? Featuring Tech-9 and Redfoo. What the heck was going on? That's how I found out about this thing. So that's how freaking big he was. But then now it's like, I don't know, where is he? Fig Kid, if you're watching, leave a comment. Next up, we've got Timbaland Shock Value 2. So as opposed to Shock Value 1, this one goes in a very sort of more electro-pop direction. And I do really love this album. There's still some sort of hip-hop cuts, like the last track, Symphony. But it's still a great album. It's still so freaking good, man. Like, hip-hop, if you want to listen to hip-hop, this one, more electro-pop and sort of party music. But both are produced by Timbaland, so you can't go wrong. Him in his prime. The Neptunes present Clones. If I had to like, you know, choose one CD in my entire collection to just listen to for the rest of my life, it would probably be this one. Why that is? It's probably because it's got the most diversity. It's got the greatest producers, arguably ever. I mean, the Neptunes and Dr. Dre, they're just the greatest producers of all time. But these guys were literally responsible for producing 43% of the freaking US radio in, what, 2003 or something like that? That is crazy. And this album, this compilation, whatever you want to call this, is just so freaking good. Next up, we've got another one of my favorite albums of all time. You've heard me say that so many times this video. But we've got NERD, In Search Of. This album is genuinely so freaking good. Needs to be talked about more. I've kind of been gatekeeping it, but listen to it. All of my fans, you're allowed to listen to it. Next up, we've got Major Figures, Figures for Life. So the way I found out about these guys is him right there. That's Ab Liber. That's Gilly the King, by the way. That's Ab Liber. He's obviously part of the Re-Up gang right here. And when I was, you know, looking into him, I heard he was part of a very influential early Philadelphia hip-hop group called Major Figures, and I was like, whoa, let's listen to them there. They only had one album, and this album is a hidden gem, man. This is a classic hidden gem. If you know, you know. If you've heard it, you have. If you haven't, listen to it. If you've got nothing better to listen to from this collection, it's great. Next up, we have the Black Eyed Peas, The Beginning. I personally love this album even more than The End. Where's The End? It's probably like covered. Well, oh no, here it is. I personally love this album even more than The End. This is the deluxe, so it does have all the bonus tracks, which are just the greatest hits, the first 5-track run. Okay, honestly, if you're going to buy a Black Eyed Peas CD, buy this. Get the Black Eyed Peas The Beginning 2 CD set, the deluxe version, because you get the deluxe version of The Beginning with all the bonus tracks, and then you also get the best of The End, with the only tracks that really sort of, I guess, quote-unquote, matter from The End. This is one of the greatest CDs to just take with you. Has so many great nostalgic party songs on there. So freaking good, man. Next up, we got Pitbull Greatest Hits. Kind of just bought this. I mean, we all love Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. Great to just put that on sometimes. We have the regular version of Black Eyed Peas, The Beginning, obviously a lot more boring and less colorful. They should have just used the deluxe cover as the main cover, to be honest. Alright, next up we have Deadmau5, For Lack of a Better Name. This is my favorite Deadmau5 project. It's only 10 tracks, it's concise, but it's all bangers. Strobe, obviously known as one of the greatest electronic tracks of all time. So, yeah. Next up, we have the Raw 2012 mix. This was the Chris Fraser mix that I was talking about that I really do love. Both discs on this are great. Amazing, in my opinion. I love listening to it. And yeah, it's one of the only sort of compilation albums that actually works, in my opinion. Raw 2012 for electronic music. Next up, we have the Reconstructed album, or compilation by DJ Shadow, which is just like the best of DJ Shadow at the time. Organ Donor is my favorite DJ Shadow track of all time. So yeah. Next up, we have Soul Intent, Bitophobia / fucking Backstabber. This is, if for those who don't know, early Eminem. So before Eminem was known as Eminem, he was actually known as Eminem, which I know sounds confusing, but what I mean by that, he was known as like that, the letters M and M instead of like E-M-I-N-E-M. So Proof is on this thing as well. This is classic stuff. 1995. Only really cultured Eminem fans will even know about this thing, so shout out to you if you do know what that is. Next up, we have... Alright, let's do these together. We've got Daft Punk Random Access Memories. So the standard, the anniversary edition, and the drumless. Well, the drumless edition. They are milking the crap out of this album ever since they retired, but yeah, Random Access Memories, such a great album, honestly. It's just one of those must-haves on vinyl. If you guys collect vinyl, that's just one of those, like, just staples that you need in your collection, in my opinion. It goes so freaking hard. Next up, we've got Eminem the Slim Shady EP. Not many people even know that Eminem has a freaking EP, but yes, he does, and it's great. I love some of the tracks on here, like the older versions of tracks that ended up on the Slim Shady LP, like the just the two of us. Pusha T, It's Almost Dry. Love this album, so freaking good. The best album of 2021. Come on, guys, it was. Next up, we've got Hitmanic Versus. So, what the hell is this, you might be thinking? Well, my favorite album of all time. Pretty well known, right? This thing? Not at all. Let's just take a look at Dr. Dre 2001. The most featured artist on this thing is actually Hitman. What do you see all over this track list? Hitman. He's on freaking like every song. Well, not every song, but like a lot of them. And this is his solo album. I mean, he fell off. Watch the YouTube videos on how sad the story is, but Dr. Dre is on this thing. Look at that. No one even knows about this album. Dr. Dre's on it. Dr. Dre produced a lot of these. Obviously, Last Days is the most recognizable track there. That was the song that plays at the end of the Forgot About Dre music video. But Hitman, one of the most underrated and slept on and just a heartbreaking story behind him MCs. Like, he's just, I love Hitman. I've actually spoken to him personally on his through his YouTube channel before, which I think he took down. I think he still runs his blog though on his emails and stuff, but I've actually talked to him, and man, that was so freaking amazing. Talking to one of my favorite MCs, like, you know, who's just been sort of forgotten by the internet and everyone, when he was literally on a Dr. Dre classic, arguably one of the greatest hip-hop albums ever made. How cool is that? So, yeah. Next up, we've got Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. This is an absolute classic, of course. What can I say? Everyone loves this album. Next up, we've got NERD, Fly or Die. To be honest, I really don't like this thing as much as I like their other album, In Search Of. But, I mean, I guess I sometimes listen to it. I mean, not that often, but yeah. I've got more Black Eyed Peas coming up. Let's do them together. We've got Black Eyed Peas Elefunk and Black Eyed Peas Monkey Business. So this is sort of back when they were more in their, I guess, kind of hip-hop bag. But yeah, great albums before they sort of went, you know, electronic and pop, which wasn't for everyone. But yeah, I mean, worth listening to, guys. They are classics. Alright, next up, we got College Park by Logic. I'm not gonna lie, not a crazy big fan of this album. I think the skits are so corny on this thing. I just don't think they're good at all. And to be honest, the only reason I got it was because, you know, I was sort of piggybacking off of Vinyl Days and waiting for Logic's newest album, thinking it was gonna be kind of like, you know, similar stuff, which to some extent, sure, but yeah, I was kind of a little bit disappointed by that album, in my opinion, but some people would probably say otherwise. We've got Redfoo and Dre Kroon Balance Beam. So for those who don't know, Redfoo, one half of LMFAO, used to actually make boom bap hip hop. How crazy is that? And this album is genuinely so freaking good, man. I am not even kidding. If you haven't heard this thing and you want some cool underground sort of weird hip hop, this is a great listen. And yeah, not many people talk about it, so yeah. Next up, we've got the Slim Shady LP, expanded edition on CD over here. Lots of like bonus stuff on here, acapellas, instrumentals, all sorts of stuff. So, pretty cool. Next up, we have one of my all-time favorite CDs slash cassettes slash vinyls to play, Eminem Curtain Call The Hits. This probably has the greatest collection of Eminem songs of any Eminem release ever. Obviously, it doesn't really count as an album, so I can't consider this my favorite album by Eminem. But man, is this thing good just to put on like when, you know, someone's over or when you just want to hear some of that classic Eminem. It's just really good. We also have the Eminem Show, so this is the original and the expanded edition. The Eminem Show is definitely in my top 5 hip-hop albums of all time, right after those 4 I said earlier. This could easily fit in. I absolutely love the Eminem Show. It is actually personally my favorite Eminem album. Obviously, Curtain Call doesn't really count because it's a compilation, but yeah, the Eminem Show itself, I mean, crazy. I grew up with it, still love it, and yeah, it is my personal favorite Eminem album. And then Relapse would probably be second, so yeah. We got Yandhi by Kanye West, at least one of the several versions. Someone who actually watches my videos made this, and I just somehow, coincidentally, happened to buy it from him. So shout out to that guy, because I remember him commenting on the previous CD collection video, or was it the Yandhi unboxing video? I can't remember. But yeah, huge shout out to that dude. Completely forgot his channel, but leave a comment. Next up, we have the Clips slash Re-Up Gang. We Got It For Cheap mixtape volume 3. Out of the original 3 mixtape runs, this one's probably the weakest, but still really, really good. Genuinely amazing with some great bars on there. Next up, we have Hypercrush Nightwave. This is one of the newest editions. This is an extremely rare CD. Good luck finding this thing. If you even know about what this thing is, I mean, good on you, but sort of like, you know, a niche electronic group from the early 2000s who are really, really good. We also have their mixtape volume 1 over here. This thing currently goes for like over $500. It is insanely rare. But yeah, some amazing and phenomenal tracks on here. I really love this album, and this actually generally is my profile photo on every single form of social media. So yeah, and here's mixtape volume 2 as well. So Hypercrush mixtapes volumes 1 and 2, some of my favorite music of all time. And yeah, they're just an amazing electronic group. I mean, this one's more of the like electro, this one's more of the like 60s and sort of 50s sampling. But yeah, still great. And we've got the Star Trek DJ No Doubt mixtape. This could be some sort of Japan bootleg promotional type of thing. See, it says here for promotional use only. Very, very rare. I've made a video on this thing talking about it. I haven't really seen anyone else have it in their collection, so it is quite rare. Next up, we've got the Japanese release of Daft Punk Homework. So just put that right there. Really cool. We have LMFAO, the I'm in Miami Bitch single over here with like 10 trillion different versions of the track. The camera wants to focus, as you can see. One of my favorite music videos of all time, and probably the most nostalgic thing ever when I watch that thing. Super funny, super cool. We also have the Pharrell In My Mind, the prequel mixtape with DJ Drama. This is one of the greatest mixtapes ever, and genuinely just so freaking good. I love listening to this thing just as much as the actual album, sometimes even more than the album itself, which is nuts. Then we've got some more clips. So here is the We Got It For Cheap mixtape volume 1. Camera's messing up again, that's fine. Yeah, really great mixtape. And then we also have volume 2, which is the best out of the 3. This is widely considered as one of the greatest mixtapes of all time. Just ever, which is obviously absolutely insane, and yeah, it definitely is one of the greatest mixtapes ever. Next up, okay, I'm not gonna get banned for this cover, am I? Not, hopefully not. We've got the David Guetta Fuck Me I'm Famous cover over here. Well, not cover, but release. Yeah, to be honest, I bought this thing hoping for more of that like nothing but the beat type of sound. It's a little bit different little bit different to that, but still pretty freaking good. Hopefully YouTube doesn't care too much about those freaky ass covers that we've got. Next up, we've got the Cassie self-titled album over here. Cassie's got to be one of my favorite female artists as well. She's probably in my top 3. Yeah, I haven't really heard of anything else outside of this album. I think this is pretty much the only thing she's got in her discography, unless I'm mistaken. But yeah, this is the Japan release. Really cool sort of like purple vibe for the covers and stuff going on there. So yeah. All right. We have Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine is by far my favorite like metal, alternative, rock, whatever you want to call them, genre band. This album is absolutely freaking phenomenal. One of the first vinyl I ever got, so yep. We got Street Love by Lloyd. Lloyd obviously went hard during this era. He was pretty huge, comparable to sort of Usher, I guess, in terms of like the type of music he makes. Okay, camera's just giving up on me as we're nearing the end of my CD collection over here, bit by bit. We've got this random album called Now I Live by Real Life Christian Church. I asked about this in my previous CD collection video. If anyone has any information regarding what this thing is, who made it, here's a clear shot of the... Okay, that is not clear at all. Here's like a clearer shot of... Okay, come on. There's like a clearer shot of... Kind of. Okay, it's just not going to focus, is it? Okay. Well, whatever. You can see 2006 this came out. Somewhere in Victoria, Australia, based on the addresses and stuff here. Oh, it says Vic there, actually. That's how I know. Somewhere in Victoria, Australia. I don't know what that group is, whether there's an archive, whether they make other music. I just remember getting that CD for $1, so yeah. We've got Clips, Lord Willin'. This is an absolute freaking classic, man. And that actually wraps up pretty much all of the like CDs. Now we've just got a whole bunch of soundtrack CDs. So let's get through them. There's not too many, so stick around. We've got the Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 complete soundtrack, OST, childhood game of mine. I'm gonna store these separately at the corner here because I do store them separately in my room. We've got the Super Mario Odyssey original soundtrack. And yeah, all of these are from Japan, either from when I went or just ordered online. So yeah, this one's still sealed. We've got the 30th anniversary Legend of Zelda music collection. Yet to play that one, but looks super cool. We've got the Super Mario Bros. 30th anniversary music collection. This is a really cool one. Just sort of like an archive of all of the Mario music. And last two, we have Super Mario Galaxy, the original soundtrack. And finally, the last CD is Super Mario Galaxy 2 original soundtrack. So that's actually it. That wraps up the video. There might still be like 1 or 2 CDs somewhere. I've checked my car, I've checked my room, I've checked my shelf. This should be pretty much everything. But yeah, as always, let me know what you guys think. Let me know your favorite albums in the comments section below. What was your favorite album you saw in this video? Hopefully you got some good recommendations. There's a whole bunch of like really awesome music here. So I highly recommend you guys check some of this stuff out. And yeah, what can I say? I guess I'll show you guys where I store my CDs. So as you can see, it's a whole bunch of different stuff I collect in this area. But over here in this section of the shelf, this is where the majority of the CDs chill. I still want to like sort of categorize them into like A to Z for each like genre as well. But I feel like that's something I'll worry about once I have like, this whole part filled out over here. But that's where the majority of them stay. But then you can also probably see up here how I've got a lot of stuff on display. So most of my Japan CDs, alongside some of my favorite albums just of all time, the ones that just have like, the coolest covers, I guess. And then down here, I also have just like a miniature little Japan CD collection. Whatever's not displayed up there sort of goes in there. And then over in my room, you can see everything is pretty clean. Otherwise, it would be a mess if it wasn't. This is where I keep all my OST CDs, all of my original soundtracks, which makes sense because it's close to my, games and stuff. You can see that's most of my vinyl there, but we'll save that for the vinyl collection video. And then over on this side, this is sort of the main setup. So I've got my turntable, my CD and cassette deck, so I can play all 3 forms of physical media in my room. That's the cassette collection. There's 2 CDs up there actually, and then the rest of them are in this third drawer over here. This is sort of the more expensive or like mixtapes drawer. I guess anything that costs a lot of money or very fragile that doesn't really fit in with everything else. Very rare stuff in here. So I also almost completely forgot to include my DVD music collection. I know it's not CDs, but it's probably the closest thing, so it makes sense to include in this video. Here are all of my DVDs of music, whether it's music, concerts, videos. My favorite one has to be the Up in Smoke tour. This is one of the greatest concert DVDs of all time. There's even a freaking VHS for that thing, which is insane. Mostly Eminem stuff, as you can see. I've got some Tribe Called Quest, some David Guetta, some Daft Punk, some Rage. But yeah, that is my very humble music DVD collection, which is so cool, and I still put these on all the time. Yeah, that is the full collection. I do really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out whatever else is on my channel. I'm sure there's something you'll enjoy. And yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Stay tuned for the updated vinyl and cassette collections. They are going to come soon at the end of this year. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.